And we are here at Kansas for race 12 of the NAPA Sim Series season for the second time this weekend. We were just here yesterday, if everyone remembers, and it got wild near the end of the race. A lot of restarts, a lot of interesting decisions leading to some double foul restarts, and a lot of drivers fighting for track position. And we had some bad wrecks at the end of the race. Stu went upside down in spectacular fashion. We could see something very similar today here. Dan finished 20th in the first Kansas race and will inherit the pole for race 2 following the invert with Slash starting in second for both races this week. And what a nice little charm for him. As I am Dylan, joined by Mac. Mac, we all watched the first race. It was under the lights. It was relatively tame, and then at the end, it got a little bit wild. Race 2 now in the daytime. What do we expect to see?
I think there'll be a lot. I mean, the racing is going to be a lot different in the daytime. I mean, you're not going to have nighttime changes tracks. This track is probably going to race a much different way compared to how you saw it tonight. With the invert not really doing much in terms of front row sitters, nobody weird up front. It's going to be interesting to see how this restart goes because there's a chance we could see just these top two, Slash and Dan, absolutely run away from the field. And also, Dan, do remember again, Dan is still seeking a win here. He was he was leading on one of the late restarts and got shafted to the back of the field. So we have a very hungry driver at specifically this place on pole, and I want to see how that goes. And how that goes, I think will determine how this race goes.
Yeah, we had a little bit of kind of like testing, restart testing there. A lot of Delphi restarts at the end. And just like the first restart of the day yesterday, it just caused chaos. The high side had no grip, and the whole field was making crazy moves, and it led to some interesting finishing results. But nonetheless, Dan will always still be at the front of the field. He wins the pole. We'll see what he can do when we take the green flag. We have our invert, but we're still going to take a look at the starting grid for the second race here at Kansas. In row 1, Dan and Slash. Back to row 2. These drivers had top 20 finishes, and this will help them out with the row 2 start. How about this for Chase, Man, and Matthew? Row 3, Mac and Montana. Row 4, a threat to win. Mythical fell out of the top 10 after all those restarts. He's up in 7th. He can easily get right back to the front right away. He's next to FXN. And in row 5, JJO and Wayside.
Row 6 brings home our top 10 sitters from last night in Ty and Mike. And then behind them in row 7, it's going to be Vixterity and Discord Bot. Row 8 is going to be New and Bot. And following them in row 9 is going to be Commander and yesterday's pole sitter, I Am an Ansioder. And then rounding out our top 20 is second place from yesterday, Cam, and yesterday's race winner in Garrett.
Row 11, Kermit next to SM. Row 12, 23rd and 24th in the results and in qualifying. It'll be like that the rest of the way with Junior and Doug. And row 13, Peyton and Isolated. In row 14, it's going to be Anna Kate with TXN. And back to row 15, Jacob and Jack.
Row 16 has Sean and Riley Davis Jr. Following them in row 17 is going to be Typical, a surprisingly bad result he got in a couple wrecks at the end next to Nexus Code. Then following them in row 18 is going to be Chase and Internet. And then we got some to the rear cars here, starting in row 19 with Dylan and Avery. Row 20 has Meme and Stu, who are to the rear due to DNFs in yesterday's race. And rounding out our field is Santa and Sup NASCAR.
Everyone Chase on back are in backup cars, so they will be dealing with a brand new race car once they take the green. We're ready to fire engine for the second time here for the Cup Series.
Drivers, start your engines.
These drivers are fired up. Everything that happened in race 1, they will try and do better in race 2. It is about to start. And we are rolling part 2. Slash gets a second chance here on the front row, qualified second in both races. And for this one, off a 19th place finish in race 1, looking to do a lot better here today. It's daytime now, different track conditions, but we definitely don't have different drivers. I expect to see the same intensity right off the gate. who will be able to take advantage. As the pace car pulls in, Dan the control car slashed through his outside. Chasing man Matthew rode 2. For the second time, the Cup Series is green at Kansas, and they fan out once again.
Everyone immediately wants to jostle for position. Dan, huge start, clears 39, and we are 3 by 3 behind them. FXN, huge run through the middle. Matt takes it 3 wide on Chasey Man and Matthew. He wants P3. Are we going to go 4 wide there? Yes, we will. It's 4 wide in the turn 3 there. Montana getting shafted early. Ty falling back as well. And the cannot hand just the people who eventually get negatively affected by the extremely chaotic racing that we see at the start of these races at Kansas. And man, look at this. We are 4 wide again. That's our race winner and our second placer from yesterday in there. I am an anti-odor to the wall. We are racing so crazily here in the mid-pack.
Yeah, all these drivers got to experience exactly this yesterday at the end of the race. NAPA sim officials allowed it, but after seeing what happened, maybe yesterday they're going to rethink it, but this is the initial start. You do double file here. These drivers, though, want to get track position so fast. You see how fast Montana and Commander have faded back from their top 10 starts. Commando trying to make a move now. Ivan Antuter's also faded back. Dan in control early. Top 5 already getting mostly relatively normal. Mythical and FXN charging forward, though. Mythical now loses spots behind his teammate. Discord bot tries to get there. Slash still in P2 as still some 3 wide, but we will slowly begin to get calm here as we get kind of to that left 10 mark. But Dan easily in control with a great start.
Yep, the front's filed out. We'll see that eventually start coming to the mid-pack and stuff. And Anakate deep send there on the inside of 3 cars and gets by them. What a move there by Anakate, and we are still feisty in this mid-pack. Chasey Man has lost a ton of spots from his P3 start. He is just dropping like a rock. Ty finished top 10 yesterday. He's losing a lot of spots too.
And that
typical. Gets in the back of Riley Davis Jr. Almost takes them both out.
And that kind of relatively shows that maybe the qualifying didn't really matter as much as we thought. Slash to the lead, because if you don't get put up top, you're just doomed. So seems like no matter what happens, if you qualify at the front or the back, as long as you can hold that bottom at the start, move forward, you'll be all right. As guys trying to move forward that are in backup cars. I saw Dylan was one of our hard chargers early. Dan looking back to the inside for the lead. This top 3 trying to run away early as all the rest of the big guns are still trying to claw their way forward. But the few that were able to stay up here are trying to run away while they can. They almost went 3 wide for the lead. Dan will take it back. FXN looking feisty in the early going.
Yeah, Dan, first pole position of the season for him, by the way. He had 8 of them last season, and that was just his first, and it was from an invert, field invert. And that has been some of the key for Dan's winning, is him starting on poles, taking control of the race, setting his pace for the race early. That has been a key component of his wins throughout his career. And we haven't seen that this season. How about this? Sunbelt Cars P4, P5. Mac with another great run here to start off. Mythical up here as well. JJO in the 6th. Don't forget, these guys are the defending winner at this track from last season. Now not the defending winner anymore because Garrett won last night. But still, they won here last season, and JJO losing quick early. Same as the 52 on Mike. He's staying up here.
And Mike coming off of a top 10 effort. But let's not forget that he was a solid top 20 car before all the cautions happened. So all he needed was a few restarts, and he got the track position he wanted. He's trying to move forward here. That's P4, P5, and P6 right ahead of him here as teammates bound for P4. Mythical will take it. GGO will try to get to the inside. Just can't get it just yet. Mike, though, had a day here. Had last night and this morning to make the adjustments you want to your car, any repairs you want. It's a new race, and of course with the track conditions changing, you're going to have to adjust to this. So some of the guys that were really fast yesterday might not have made the adjustments that they might have needed to perform even better today. And guys like FXN are taking advantage of it. He wasn't really much of a player yesterday, but he is currently today, so all of that stuff is important, as well as Discord bot. You know he's going to be fast no matter what. Starting to move forward, back into the top 10. Oh, there's trouble in the back, I'm pretty sure. Cars around. I'm an Antioder, Chasey Man, and SM in the 24. In the back of the pack, they were pretty wide still, like always, and that car is dinged up. There goes our third place sitter, done for the day. And that is a first caution that so many drivers are going to need, like Garrett, who's still trapped in 15th. Get another restart, give you a chance to gain some positions. Relatively tame crash, I'd say, but we'll find out in our first replay of the day.
Let's take a look at what happens to bring out our first cautions. We're entering turn 3. I'm an Antioder. Gets into the quarter panel. SM runs him up the track into Chasey Man. Nowhere for that 27 to go. Hard hits for two of these guys, Chasey Man and SM. We saw Chasey Man's cars destroyed. He is most certainly done. Yeah, looked like he was maybe going to get away, but then the thing blew up. Must have been too much damage at the front. The Chasey Man will be done, and I think we'll be seeing the 24 or the 48 the remainder of the day.
I'm an Antioder is making a hard charge for the regular season championship. This will be a detriment to him. Early caution. Chasey Man, the only one currently in the garage area. They will pack it up and head to Darlington here. Dan out front still. The top two has stayed the same. Mythical now up to P3. FXN, JJO ran out the top 5. First restart of the day might not be the last. We are back underway here at Kansas.
Oh man, that 24's off the pace. Anyway, JJO up to P4. FXN went up the track, trying to get something on Mythical, but couldn't. And now JJO up to P4. Now looking for P3, baby. Will he get it here? And coming to the inside. No, Mythical's going to block it. Here comes Discord bot as well.
Mythical trying to get right to the inside of Slash. Just couldn't do it. This top 5 literally on top of each other. Here at the end of this lap, Slash will pull out really late. But Dan still is able to play some defense, but Mythical gets shucked out of line. We saw in yesterday's race, it was a grouping of cars. We have something happening here off the pace. Oh! Crashing again! I'm an Antioder spins once again. And yeah, the 11 car, keep in mind this is a backup car. So something might have went wrong. Man, we are starting early here in Kansas. What in the world has happened to that 11 car? And it checked up the pack. Nexus codes involved. I don't think this was necessarily anyone's fault. I just think that the 11 car had a problem and everyone had to check up. Back to the drawing boards.
Let's take a look at what happens here to bring in our second caution of the day. Here in the turn 1, 11 has a brake failure that was reported, and that stacks his field up. Some guys fly by, they get a little stacked up here. Nexus tries to get by them. Meme comes up, and Nexus gets into him. I am an Antioder gets collected here. There's good wreck avoidance there by the 83 of Avery to not get collected. Minor incident, but this is probably going to at least keep I am an Antioder out of contention for good. And there's the stalled chase. There was a brake failure for the 11 JT Motorsports machine. Backup car having a mechanical failure. Back under caution. We'll have to rev him. We'll have to group him back up and go back green once more.
Ready to go back green here. 31 car of Sean have brought it to the garage. Not fully sure what happened yet. Might have had an engine failure. That was another backup car. Rough season for that 31 crew. Dan and JJO 1-2 on this restart here. Had a few extra caution lefts due to the cleanup, due to the 31 of Sean laying oil on the track. But we're going to go back green now. Can JJO challenge this 97 car that has practically led them all since the start? We will see.
Oh, Junior gets shoveled to the way outside, further on back early on here. Let's see JJO to the inside.
What
this 26 car looking to be the kryptonite of Dan once more. And JJO to the lead here at Kansas. Here comes Discord bot, though, a previous winner at this track, looking for second. Now JJO is going to get a lap led. That 26 car is bad fast here. Once more, Dan clears for second.
That seems like BC Racing knows the Kansas setup. no matter who's in that car, they can get to the front. But can he hold the lead is the real question. Slash, he's going to go up the middle here. That is a daring move. I mean, it worked to get P2, but Dan will take back the lead. They were 4 wide. Seems like they figured it out on entry here. We have not had a long green flag run at all. 10 laps was our longest to start the day, so these guys are still kind of unsure of what to expect. So early on in this one, still haven't really gotten into a rhythm yet, but now with these restarts, we are starting to cycle some of our usual players up to the front. Junior might be in the wall there. Oh no! Does Garrett have a problem? What is happening in Kansas? Unbelievable. The 51 car has had a problem. They just went over the radio and said, I lost power. They're going to bring it down pit road. I mean, yesterday night and this morning, as I said, crews had a chance to make adjustments to their cars, but without another practice session or qualifying, they are not sure what to expect. I guess some teams might have just overdid it. Garrett's coming back out on track already. That was fast. But we'll see what that does for him. He will go a lap down. That 11 car is 2 laps down, so barring another caution, he'll get back on the lead lap. Unbelievable here.
Whoa, TX and Cam get together. Cam's in the wall.
Cam has a lot of damage to that left side.
Also, I have to point out, Dylan has made a drive and a half. He went from P36 to P2.
Falling back
well,
down
not
a few
anymore.
spots.
He was at the P2 for a brief moment, lost a few spots, but he has driven it up into the top 5 and then 30 laps. Impressive speed from the 61 team so far early on.
I don't think some of our teams and some of our drivers got the memo. Teams didn't get the memo about, like, the proper car setups, and teams are not getting the memo about how to race here 28 laps in. I just am unbelievably shocked by what happened to the 51 team. I mean, it might have been a tire down, you know, because they got back out there quickly. But I was hearing over a report on the radio that Garrett said, I think I might be down on power. Maybe the team came down pit road and saw different. They put 2 tires on that thing back out there, but he is a lap down. The 11 car is 2 down, but the 51 is 1 down. So he is going to have to fight for this free pass here just in case anything crazy happens, if we get a decent green flag run or more cars have issues. But unbelievable start to this one. A race winner is going to have to fight through attrition if he wants to win this race. Huge battle for second as Dan trying to hold the lead. This 61 car, this is one of the few teams that made the right adjustment. This backup car flying forward here looking for P2.
A hard battle for 3 wide. Matthew up here again. MXTV keeping that 99 up here as well. Some great runs for those guys. Hard battle, and Dylan's got P2.
Dan, though, still holding on with ease, I would say. JJO was able to steal a left from him, and I think Slash took some lefts early in the run. But other than that, they've been able to cycle out here. MXTV back up here again. He has shown great short run speed here this weekend. We'll see if he can keep his way up here, but our favorite to win, tire down. Something was down. They fixed it. He's definitely not out of it if we get a caution, which is out. Ty in the 56 looks to be our culprit. Garrett will get the free pass that he needs. We are absolutely junking it up here early at Kansas with a lot of hungry drivers. Caution number 3. The storylines are through the roof here early, but what hasn't changed is Dan still in control.
Let's take a look at what brings out our third caution today. Your commander just turns the 56. Nothing else you can really say about that. The Ty saves it, keeps it clean. You'll probably go back on pit. You'll go on pit road to get 4 fresh ones on it. But we are back under caution here at Kansas for a single car spin this time. But back under caution here. This is looking like it's going to be a race of attrition.
Garrett gets the free pass. Dan will lead him to green once again. Dan will lead him to green once again. Garrett will get that free pass here. Dylan up to P2. What can he do on this restart? As into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Dylan searching. I don't think the high side's going to be the way to go, but he's going to try it anyways. Huge run from the 55 and 39 up in the 1.
Yeah, Discordbot's going to easily get P2 here. Might be able to push for P1. There he is to the inside of Dan. Slash is going to take it 3 wide. There's Vixterity in tow as well. 3 wide for the lead. Discordbot has it for the time being. Slash on that inside. Can't get there. Discordbot to the point.
I'm sure Dan is not a fan of restarts. He's had to deal with them all weekend. He's like, come on, what are we doing out here? Dan has to settle in the P3. At least this time, he's definitely got the track position to claw his way back forward here. It's just unbelievable what we've seen this race. And we're not even halfway yet. And Garrett's back on the lead left. Do not count him out at all. We will see here. But can we get into a green flag run that maybe at least get us to halfway or something? Because this is just wild stuff we've seen at the start. I don't think we have truly seen who has the fastest car, because every time we slowly begin to see a breakaway, the caution comes out. Discordbot will venture into that middle lane here. It'll work really well through 1 and 2. I don't think Slash got into the corner well. Dylan will jump underneath Dan, but Dan will jump underneath Slash here. Dan will take P2 back, Dylan in tow, and Matthew's still up here. What a weekend he's had.
Yeah, Matthews had fantastic pace in the early goings of these races, but so far this weekend in the Cup Series. JJ still up here as well. Also, like to notice that O2 Payne has made his way up into the top 10. Great run for him after a disaster of a day last night. Seems like they have made the adjustments to get this car into top 10 contention here. Vixterity does the inside of FXN, easily gets by him. Discordbot, our leader right now, he's 1 year at Kansas before. In season 3 playoffs, but as we know it, Discordbot has yet to win, repeat win at a track he's already won at before. Will today be the day that happens to score his 4th win of the season? We will see, but Dan is right there.
And in the bottom here, they are really spread apart in the back. I'm not sure if we had another little tangle there in the back, because they were very spread apart at the line. 3 wide, yeah, there's actually skid marks in 3 and 4. Oh my goodness. Green flag is still out. What in the world are we watching here? We're going to watch this battle for the lead real quick. Once it simmers out, we'll take a look at what happened to the 21. Discordbot looking back to the inside here. It could have been another mechanical failure. Who knows? But there are skid marks in 3 and 4. Commander's coming back on track. I think race control is tired of it. They want some green flag racing, and we're getting it. Matthew into the mix. Discordbot has a run off 4 here. Let's see if he can take it back for the lead. Jumps to the inside, but he saw him get a little bit loose there, trying to make the pass. Commander will merge in front of this group. If we can stay green long enough, they will catch him. We will monitor that in a second here. Dan tries to get a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, super unusual race we're seeing here. Matthew gets shoveled to the outside there. There's Vixterity to his inside, looking for P4, and he'll get that, I think. Commander, that's going to be right in front of the field. They'll get him very shortly here, I imagine. JJO to the inside of Matthew as well. Slash likely to fall. Typical has made his way into the top 10 as well. Can't count out the number 23, even on the ovals.
Dan still in control here. Let's take a look at what went wrong with the 21 car in turn 3. Off into turn 3 here. The 48 car gets his next victim. Somehow, some way, we don't wreck a bunch of cars here. Commander into the wall. This why wasn't a caution. There wasn't any wreck. There wasn't a spin. Does bounce off the wall, though. Commander comes down pit road. Garrett and Cam, who hit it earlier in the race for stuff involved in that, trying to make their way forward. As the field comes by here, Dan has had control since the start here, basically. Trying to do what Garrett did in the nighttime. Drivers are keeping pace with him. Look at this, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here. And even Matthew trying to break in the 5th. Telling you right now, Dan is seeing some interesting players in his mirror here. Dylan, oh, he saw him get a little bit tight there. Can't grab the spot. Vixterity, she was really fast at the end of the first Kansas race. He's going to now make contact with the 61. These guys are all over the place. Might be the track conditions. Might just be drivers feeling overly confident after having a race under their belt here. But there is blood in the water here at Kansas, because we are witnessing drivers go all out here early.
We just He's almost had 4 wide there for like 3rd, I'm pretty sure as well. And this fighting is going to be really good for that 97 machine to take it over. Matthew in the slash. How did they not wreck? These aggressive moves are just insane. I think these guys have to calm down before something major occurs from one of these aggressive moves. But man, if you want an aggressive race, you have it right here. Look at this. We're real tight.
We're looking for 2 flips in 1 weekend and they keep doing this. Unbelievable here. Dan, not really gaining on Commander. I think Commander in the clean air might still have the speed to kind of keep up here. But Dan, I think we'll eventually run him down. And kind of similar to the first race, you kind of have a gaggle of cars that just won't get away. Now, let's keep in mind, we're 3 cautions in already, so we haven't really fully gotten into a rhythm. But again, early on, you got a lot of group of cars. And keep in mind here, I said it during the replay, Cam pitted under the last caution for a tire going down. So he is in the back as well with Garrett. Our 1-2 is mired in the 30s. So we have some new players, of course. We still have some of our same players like Dan and Discord Bot, but still, some of our fast cars being mired in the back have really opened the door. But, I mean, we gotta pump the brakes just a little bit here. Gotta just slightly pump the brakes and realize that there is so much more to race for here. In this one, we are not even halfway yet. JJO gets Dexterity, little arrows. They are 3 wide behind him here. Alberto cars in the mix. I saw Jacob right behind this group as well. It is a mess behind the leaders.
Sending Matthew into the wall. We are getting crazy here. Is that going to be 4 wide? Almost was. FX7 in the wall, though, is going to prevent that from hitting harder the wall. That's not the first time we've seen that today. Tries to block 33 and
Oh my goodness!
Now we're 4 wide, getting close to getting 4 wide again. This racing is absolutely nuts. Oh, wayside and Matthew.
Watch out! Hard hit. Stu is in it. Caution's gonna come out. Someone else hit
Santa
him.
got a piece of it, I think.
That might have been Santa. Oh, more hitting. Oh, wow.
She's hit for the 13, a Nexus code, and we have torn up a ton of cars here. The racing, they just did not get it at all. They did not calm down, and now we have torn up a lot of guys. The attrition continues. Caution back out here in Kansas. And let's take a look at what happens to bring our 4th caution today. Intense racing, 4 wide here. If we're a top 10 spot, Wayside hits the wall, gets hooked by Matthew. Jacob and Junior get a piece of it. Wayside hits Matthew. TXN plows into Matthew. Stu collected, nowhere for him to go. Santa, and then behind here, Santa, I believe, gets collected here. Or a Nexus code does as well. Huge hit into the back of Wayside as Wayside's coming down the track. We probably have at least 5 or 6 cars done in the race. And this race is to claim more victims. More cars heading to the garage.
Right behind Santa are our front 2 from yesterday's race. Santa's too busy racing back to the caution to realize that there's a car low. Passes the 48, but at what cost? Big crash here. We're going to see multiple drivers have to settle for DNFs in both races, including the 93 and probably the 96. Well, it'll be a miracle to see this car back on track. Commander will get the free pass. We're right past halfway with still a lot of racing left to go. Dan still out front. The graveyard is increasing in the infield of Kansas. Guys like Wayside out of the race. He is right on that cutoff bubble here. Dan will lead him back to the green. Dylan, typical Discord bot dexterity, the top 5. Back underway once again here. What will happen this time around? Will we keep wrecking? Or can Dylan take the lead to the inside of Dan? Dylan on point here at Kansas, trying to get himself some left sled here while we keep getting these restarts.
Yeah, but here comes typical. Started in the same area Dylan did. Did not have to go to a backup car, but he wrecked at the end. Had to start 32nd, and now typical is up here as well. Looking to maybe challenge the lead, but Dylan up front for the first time in probably a little bit this season. But Dylan looking for his first win since season 4 Richmond. It's been a while since this guy has seen victory lane. And you know in the Cup Series, at least in the Cup Series, but you know this guy wants it so bad. And we'll see how he fights for it here throughout this race if he can hold the lead.
Discord bot, hungry for that spot. Bot as well, driving up the track. JJ Hill's been in the top 5 all day. What a race for this BC racing car. Usually JJO is usually in the back where all the wrecks happen, but Kansas just seems to be this team's track, trying to stay up here and possibly fight for a playoff spot with a win today. It would be an upset of the season. They are refusing to get calm in the back. I think, though, it's Garrett and Cam. Yeah, they know that they're not out of this yet. They're trying to move forward. But Anna Kate, she has done like 5 dive bombs this weekend. She's fighting for positions here. Don't forget, Iman Antioch are still in this race. He's been in 2 crashes today. Still trying to move forward. Ty is still in this as well after being in some trouble. Don't count out all these guys after all these restarts. Gives these guys a chance to keep fighting.
Yeah, so we have a little train starting to develop behind JJO, it looks like, possibly. Maybe JJO maybe starting to have the pace fall off a little bit. I'm not sure. Bot looking under him again. FXN gets by New. A lot of guys will get by New now because FXN got under him. Here we go. Lots of battling still here in this top 10. But Dylan is the one in command now. And now Typical is on that back bumper, though.
Here he comes to the inside. Typical's been really good at these ovals recently, still improving, but we know that he can win here. He's not an if. He could definitely win at these ovals. He will take the lead away from Dylan here, looking for his 3rd win of the season. Discord Bot looking for his 4th. The players are gotten up here, especially with all the cautions. You know, it's gotten rid of some of those mid-pack guys. So a lot of the front guys are the ones that remain. Dylan might be looking right back at it, though. He didn't want to give Typical time out front, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it off exit here. No, he won't. Can't even side draft, but that'll give Discord Bot the run. He doesn't know where to go with it. He might go bottom of 3. No, he can't because Dylan with a huge send. He'll take the lead back.
I thought Discord Bot was going to do a dive bomb like we've seen him do several times this season for the lead. And look at JJO. He's up here in this battle. Unbelievable. Here we go. Big send down low. Can't get it to 55, but he might get to these 3. JJO looking for BC Racing's 2nd win at Kansas after Next did it last season. What a story it would be, as you say. We have some intense racing here. The dominant car of the day, Dan, starting to get shuffled out. Huge contact there between FXN and Bot. Discord Bot to the inside of the lead. Whoa!
Oh my goodness here. Yeah, Dan's falling back. Here comes Discord Bot. This is about for P5 though, paying into the top 5. Mythical's still up here. That's Junior in the 33 having himself an A. Oh my goodness. What is happening, man? Everyone is just, I don't know what.
Are we gonna go 3 wide for the lead?
Man.
Sorry to interrupt. No, Discord Bot throws the block on Typical.
We're in some sort of chapter that I would not want to read in a book. This is unbelievable racing. Dylan, though, trying to use the veteran prowess to get himself back in victory lane. It was a tough race at Kansas literally just yesterday. Got in a wreck that wasn't shown. FXN's into the wall, but with that backup car, he is now trying to make headway. And this team did not have any practice time, anything to say how this car was going to race. They just went out here and just went for it. They've had cautions to make any adjustments that they maybe wanted to make under pit stops, but it doesn't seem like they really needed any. They are fast and they're doing this all on their own, but this is a tough duo to hold off. Winners, veterans, drivers that are so fast. JJO's a veteran as well, trying to spoil the party here. What a weekend he's had, coming off of a 12th place yesterday.
Yeah, JJO, he hasn't seen victory lane since season 2 Auto Club with this same BC Racing team. Finally getting to drive for them full time and putting on a show here in Kansas. Can't say enough about it. Here, Discord Bot looking to the inside once more. Dylan keeps the lead though. Dan and P5 trying to break away from the rest of the pack, but I think he's lost these leaders at this point as we are still battling insanely. We see your Mac back in the top 10. He's been kind of mid all day. Back in the top 10. Discord Bot looking again for the lead. Can't do it. Dylan still leading your left, 66. Discord Bot looking for it. We have battling throughout the field still.
Commander was one of those guys that had troubles earlier as well. We saw him get in the wall off contact with this guy in the 48. He got his let back. He is also not out of this one. We've had so many drivers that have gotten damage from wrecks today that are still in this battle, including Cam. And hell, if you even want to count Garrett with his issue, oh, he does a huge drive in on Riley Davis Jr. 3 wide here, Garrett. He knows he has probably the fastest car out of everyone, but he has just had awful luck today and stuck in traffic. What can he do? Trying to move forward though here. I mean, this is the most unbelievable race I have maybe seen in Napa Sim in a really long time. JJO looking for P3. He's gonna get it from Typical. This would be the upset of the season.
Yeah, and just look at what's happened here since Dan lost the lead. It has just gotten insane. As we see some of the guys trailing behind here, there's a group of them. I'm not sure if we'll see last time at all. Typical looking to the inside of JJ. My Discord bot now looking to the inside of Dylan. Discord bot to the point once more here at Kansas.
This field does not want to see the 55 get out front, but by this field, I mean the rest of the 3 cars that have kept up here. Dylan and JJO know how important a win is going to be because these two both know that we're probably not much of championship favorites. We're definitely not guys that are surefire championship drivers. They're crashing at the back again. Caution's going to come out. It's time an anti-odor again in the 48 car. Look out. Yep, cars are going to hit him.
Oh, he did not look out. Isolated Avery, Montana, jacks up NASCAR. And we are sending more cars to the garage, it looks like. Oh, the 83, no.
A new leader at the caution. Holy crap. I think they finally got rid of Ivan Antioder. The whole back of the field, I don't think they realized that the 48 was sliding down the track. Unbelievable. Caution is out for the 29,000th time. Let's take a look at the replay.
Let's take a look at what brings out our 5th caution of the day here. Mike drives it in deep, sends it, can't land it, and then Ivan Antioder gets collected in this. Garrett gets a piece of that, and then Ivan Antioder sliding down the track. There are cars behind that are not slowing down. They're racing back. Avery hits them, then isolated and collects. Montana jacks up NASCAR behind them. We are going to be sending 3, 4 more, or even more cars back to the garage. What a race we are seeing here to end off our Kansas weekend.
So NASCAR's another guy that went to a backup car. This will be 2 destroyed cars this weekend. We'll have to monitor that here. All right. Gonna line him back up again here. Discord bot now in control, but Dan's still in the top 5. Welcome back to Kansas, where we have erupted into anything here. Lap 75 at the line, still got 25 more to go. Discord bot in control. Chase will get the free pass. Back into the restart zone. Discord bot leads them back to the green. It's typical. Dylan, JJO, Dan, the top 5. Can we get to the rest of the race here without another caution? Can we go green till the end? I'm 50-50 on it. We will see. Typical, straight to the bottom, looking for the race lead. Dylan with the big run. Where will he choose to go? He'll follow the 23 into the corner.
Yeah, everyone's going to get by that 55 and Discord bot immediately. And also, don't forget, this caution has let Dan back into the fold. Let's see what he's got here. As Dylan now wants the lead. He's going to go for it on Typical. There's Dan on the inside of JJO behind them. They're actually going to go 3 wide there. Oh, little contact. Everything 26 and 97. Typical and Dylan side by side down the back straightaway here. Both of these guys, but Typical gets the pole and he'll remain in the lead. 3 wide behind them. JJO sends it on the inside of Discord bot and gets by him. Dylan back to the inside of Typical now. He's not done. Dylan desperate for this win. Here comes JJO behind him.
Dylan, JJO, what a story it would be if one of them can get the win. He's looking for the lead. JJO to the bottom of the racetrack. Discord bot fight back. Here comes Slash once again. We haven't seen him in a little bit. There's cars on the track behind him. Unbelievable racing here. It's been a mixture of chaos and great racing. The high side struggles. JJO is clear. Slash is back into the mix. JJO gets some more laps led at Kansas. What a story it would be if BC Racing can win number 2 in Kansas.
Yeah, and oh man, look at what's happening for P2. Look at what has developed. Here comes Cam. He had an issue. He ran into the wall early in the race. He had a pit. They had a tire come down. And now he is coming with a chance at this win. What is happening here in Kansas? Everyone's in it. You are not out of it. Even if you're mid-pack, you can always get up here and get a run. What a race we have seen. Slash to the inside of Dylan. And Slash is going to not take P2. Dylan's got to run on the outside. Cam in tow. The damn Motorsports car is pushing each of the Dodges down the back straightaway. Dylan's got to run. They're also running down JJO simultaneously as this is happening. Slash. Here's Mythical. Deep said Cam gets loose. Mythical's going to get possibly at the P3 here. JJO is still in the lead. This racing is absolutely nuts.
Mythical hasn't really been seen all day, but with all these restarts, he's probably found something in this 44 car. We've had so many cautions for drivers to make changes to their cars as well. I'm sure Mythical's made that car better. Slash, we haven't seen him since the beginning of the race. He led a few less, but he is definitely not out of this here. We could catch a few damaged left cars before the end. I'm sure with how little cars are in the field, I don't think NAPA will be as strict as getting them off the track. So we will see if that will develop. This top 3 is unbelievable here. All 3 of them looking for wins. All 3 of them would love to win here. Their cars on the track. Look out. New in a Alberto car. It's Anakate 4 wide. I don't know why they keep doing this after what we've seen today, but they don't care. We have just erupted into chaos here. Junior will go through due to the 50 getting checked up. JJO Dylan 1-2 at Kansas. Who saw this on their bingo card? I didn't, I'll tell you that much. Here we go. Dylan looking at the bottom with a bit of a run. JJO is getting defensive though. The defensive line by JJO.
Sends it in, but Dylan might have an attack angle here in the off the exit of 4. Here he comes. He's got to run. Will he take it though? I don't think he can, but he might take it into turn 1 here. Let's see. Dylan. No, he's not gonna yet. In the turn 1 and 2, Dylan is there. He's looking, he's looking, he's looking. JJO puts the block up. JJO played the defense of his life right now, and here comes Slash into the picture. JJO is still keeping that 61 behind him. Unbelievable. He really wants this win, and he might get the run here. I don't know. But JJO remains in the lead. This is insane.
Dylan got arrow tied in 3 and 4. It gave JJO that opportunity. Look at how many cars are still kind of hanging with each other here. Definitely a lot of them aren't quick enough to probably contend for this win. But if things erupt into chaos once again, you never know. We've only done single file restart. These drivers aren't just doing this on their own. What a race we've seen at Kansas here. Definitely our most destructive race of the season, maybe outside of Atlanta for trucks or cup, either one. But it has just been insane, and JJO running the race of his life. He has won before in the 26 car, but it was a long time ago, back when the 26 car was a lot more prevalent. Oh, he got tight there, though. Now, though, even though this car has had a little bit of a decline, JJO still knows how to put up some good runs here. They are 3 wide behind him as Dylan to the lead.
Yep, and now Slash in the second. JJO probably has the car to counter, but we got to see here. He just got really tight. Lots of fighting for those lower top 10 positions. That 97 is starting to try and claw back into this. He got my Discord bot. Dylan back in command. JJO's fighting Slash, actually. He's fighting him really hard here, trying to keep P2 down the back straightaway. They're side by side. JJO getting a little pulled in from the 61, but I think Slash might have him in the turn. Let's see here. These battling is going to also allow Discord bot and Dan and the others to catch up to these two. They are still side by side. JJO putting up immense resistance against this 39 machine. Will it pay off? Let's see here. In the turn 1, they are still quite even. Slash has the run now, though. That might do it. for JJO
He's
in
still
P2. No, he's still
side-racing.
gonna fight.
Unbelievable! JJO won't let it go away! Slash still will send it in a bit more. Now, Slash will get the lead. Or not the lead, get second. They do not want these guys to get even up to third, because if you let one of them up here, it is in trouble. They're not out of this yet. Dan to the bottom for P3. JJO, though, will fight back. Oh, he tried the block, but he ended up getting a little bit loose. They're running down the 72 car that is on minimum speed, just barely made the cut. They are letting him race. So that will become a problem. The 52, I'm a bit more 50-50 on, but they might get to him as well. This would be the first lap traffic of the race, solely because of what we have done to this field. So Dylan has to deal with the slow car. He'll have to catch him on the straightaway or on entry of a corner. That is how he's going to have to make this pass on the 72. Dan is not letting this go, though, I'll tell you that much. Dan is so good at this, and Dan has played spoiler one too many times. He might just look to pull it again here. Dylan might catch Jack here this time around. Oh, don't catch him here, though. Don't catch him here. That's exactly what's going to happen. Uh-oh. Dan has a run. Dylan has to block. He'll do that to the bottom of the 72, but Dan has caught up.
Slash got shoveled out. JJO, here he comes.
Oh, Dan got tight. Dan got tight. Will JJO look to take it 3? He has to. There's no way. Yes, he will. Actually, he'll take it 2 because Slash gets held up by the 72. Oh, he gets aggressive, trying to get by. Kermit.
Hey, no, here comes Peyton.
Kermit cut him a break. Kermit cut Slash a break. I'll tell you that much. That could have been real bad. Dylan in control. This would be such an emotional win for a driver that might be on his retirement tour. We do not know yet. There's been a lot of speculations. Well, I don't know if a win would help his decision or not. It might not help his decision because he has... Oh, no! My goodness! Discord 5, he's not giving up. He's looking back for P2. Kermit's into the fight, into the top 5. Slash as well. Commander was just a lap down. He's into the top 10. No one gives up here as we're under 10 to go. Discord bot is going to
Discord bot up the track.
That did not
JJO,
work.
look at the counter attack. Discord bot, he is seeking to play spoiler once again this season. Here comes Peyton. Is he going to send it on both of them? He tried. He might get JJO here, but Slash might attack him as well. Yep, Slash is going to go under right then and there. Peyton was slow when he sent it. 3 wide for P3. This is insane. But like I said, Discord bot wanting to come back and play spoiler again like he's done for several of his wins this season. And poor JJO, I think the glimmer of hope for a possible win might be fading away here.
This 52, it's going to be real close. It might be the white flag for all we know. We will see. They either won't catch him, it'll be at the very end. Discord bot's not really running down the 61, though. It's a little bit by left. 0.47 to 0.62. He did not gain that time. Dylan's running solid left times. Just solid enough to hold the lead, and I think Slash is gaining on the 55. Yes, he is. 4 wide behind him here. We could go to overtime if they get crazy here. Crazy enough, we talk about all the big guns early in the race like typical Dan, Discord, but I just don't think they have it to win this race at the end, especially Dan. He is stuck on top. He might hit the wall here. Watch out. It's teammate. Oh, man, that got so close. Slash is taking P2. Dylan trying to run away with it.
What a win this would be. Here's New making that top line work. As this has just been an absolutely insane race. You've seen probably the most entertaining race of the season here. And we are in the wide closing laps of it. Dylan holding a 7/10 lead over Slash. Dylan just got to hold on for a few more laps here. And we might see that 61 back in victory lane for the first time since Season 4.
No lead is safe in the NAPA Sim Series, not one. Especially when you have a multi-time winner up your butt. Slash has won races before the NAPA Sim Series, but hasn't been super prevalent on the intermediates. He's a super speedway guy, as everyone knows, but he is also really good at the chaotic races. He is trying to get into the mix here. He has ran down Dylan with 3 laps to go. He has won a race this weekend. He won yesterday in Xfinity, trying to get a second one. Dylan runs a better line through 1 and 2. Slash kind of sent it there. I think he just did it a little bit too early. They're going to have to navigate this 52. I think they will be able to. It just depends on where Dylan catches him. He has to catch him in either on the front stretch or the back stretch. Oh man, he might catch him in the exact same spot. He caught the 72. This is not good for him. Dylan will have to pull to the bottom. He will have to pull defensive move on Slash.
3 wide move. He went for it.
Oh man, Slash on his bumper. Slash is gonna look for it. It's gonna be between these two for the race win. Dylan actually hangs on. Dylan has to hold off Slash for one more time here in the 3 and 4. Coming with a white flag. They're gonna make it after a caution fest. Dylan looking for a very emotional win. White flag in Kansas.
Pulled away from Slash there on the straightaway. Discord bot looking under Mike. They're still under positions up for grabs. Let's see here. Does Slash have a run on that back straightaway? Let's see. This is going to be important. Does he have anything for him? Unless this goes disastrously, nada.
Unbelievable. Dylan
Yep.
is going back to victory lane once again. Dylan is a winner once again in the NAPA Cup Series. Mac, what did we just see? What a race at Kansas. Oh, man. Dylan proves to everyone that he still got it. Refuses to back down, refuses to let go. The veteran, a surefire Hall of Famer, 2-time champion, is back in victory lane. Payan comes up with the top 5. JGO had a great run. He'll get a top 15 in this one. 13th. Great day for the Alberto guys. What a race. The Cup Series has survived Kansas weekend. Let's take a look at the finishing results. Dylan back in victory lane. It got close there at the end, but was able to hold off Slash. Discord bot comes on P3. Payton, what a job for him after the demoralizing race he had yesterday night. Comes up with the top 5. That team made amazing adjustments to recover. Commander, Mythical, Dan, 5th, 6th, and 7th. 3 drivers that were definitely a threat to win, but just shockingly Mythical mainly. And Commander was stuck in the back a lot, but Mythical just didn't really see him that much, but still gets a good finish. New comes home 8th, back-to-back great races for him. Typical and Dexterity round out the top 10. Give your flowers to Mac and JJO, especially JJO. They had great runs. Solid days for guys like Jacob Jr. They really needed it. Rookie Riley Davis Jr. comes home with a clean car and a top 20 finish. And then we look at the back of the field. A lot of these drivers have already most likely left the track. We had a lot of wrecks in today's race, including Garrett, who was able to stay in the race. But despite his win in the first race, just got caught up in too much stuff in this race to come on P25. Discobot will increase his points lead once again with I Am an Antioder finishing 32nd, who also DNF'd. Other guys like Wayside, TXN, Stu also had bad days, and drivers like SM and Chase Man as well wrecked out early. But that will do it here for the 4 races at Kansas. What an unbelievable weekend here. We had a lot of wrecks and a lot of amazing racing here. Dylan back in victory lane for the first time since season 4 Richmond, not counting his Xfinity wins. This is going to maybe be one of his most important wins of his entire career, solely because so many people wrote him off, but he proved today he still has it in a backup car, mind you. Mac, what a race we saw today.
Yeah, just pure race of attrition that went green for the last 25 laps. And what a last 25 laps that was. This is probably the best race of the season to this point.
Yeah, we also had some awesome lap leaders like JGO and Dylan getting laps led today. That is definitely going to be momentum builders for both of them. But that will do it here this weekend. Me, myself, Dylan here in the booth, joined with Mac. Next up, we head to a track that very well could be the same, attrition and chaos. We had the Darlington for Throwback Weekend. A lot of throwbacks are already made, and we are ready to present them to you guys next weekend. All 3 series will, of course, run once again. That will also be a wild one. But until then, we're done here for Kansas. Finally, what a weekend we watched here. A storybook weekend here. I expect the top 20 invert to come back next season after the amazing racing we saw this weekend. That'll do it. Thank you guys all for watching, and we will see you guys in Darlington.